Welcome to The Deep Dive, the show built to take a stack of sources and give you the ultimate shortcut to being well-informed. For anyone trying to keep tabs on artificial intelligence, the last few weeks have just been dizzying.
Oh, absolutely.
It's no exaggeration to say the title for world's most capable model seems to change hands every time we blink.
It's pure velocity.
Yeah.
We saw significant releases from Google and OpenAI, but this week, Anthropic, they truly dominated the news cycle.
Right.
It sort of forces us to reevaluate the entire competitive landscape.
Okay, let's unpack this, because what we're seeing, it isn't just incremental speed improvements. This deep dive is really about synthesizing the biggest AI announcements, the new model benchmarks, these massive government initiatives and consumer apps, to understand the structural changes happening right now.
Exactly.
We need to figure out where the massive long-term investments are being focused, from national security all the way down to how you research what refrigerator to buy.
Right. Our mission is to move past the hype and give you that strategic context. We're looking at performance, yes, but also the geopolitical scaling and the practical tools that are already shifting how people work.
So let's dive straight into the engine room, the foundational model war. Anthropic absolutely crashed the party with the release of Claude Opus 4.5. This is their new flagship, and it's clearly built to challenge, everyone else. What does this new model really demonstrate in terms of pure capability?
Well, the jump is centered around what the industry calls agentic capabilities. And this isn't just about, answering a question.
Right.
It's about reasoning and then executing complex multi-step tasks. So Opus 4.5 is competing directly with the current leaders, but it is specifically built to handle specialized execution, particularly coding.
That distinction is key. I saw some analysis we reviewed that highlighted a truly surprising fact. Opus is the first model to break the 80% mark on the SW Bench verified coding benchmark.
It is.
And for anyone listening, this is not just about writing snippets of code, right? This benchmark is testing the model's ability to correctly resolve real-world software bugs.
In existing code bases.
Exactly. So to break 80%, that signals a shift from just an assistant to a highly competent collaborator.
And what's fascinating here is that Anthropic's technical strategy leverages this. They use that high performance in a really unique way. Orchestration.
Orchestration.
Yeah, they designed Opus not just to be a fast single model, but to act as a coordinator. It manages and assigns tasks to teams of smaller, more cost-efficient haiku models.
Oh, so it's not just a standalone powerhouse. It's the central brain of a multi-agent system.
Precisely.
This suggests Anthropic is positioning itself for large-scale industrial automation, for complex enterprise workflows. They're viewing AI less as a single chat window and more like a team manager.
That's the perfect way to put it. And that multi-agent approach is arguably where the highest leverage is in enterprise AI. But there was another headline about Opus 4.5 that was almost as impactful as the performance.
The economics.
The economics. We saw a massive 66% reduction in pricing compared to its predecessor, Opus 4.1.
That massive price cut is shocking. Are they truly that efficient now, or is this a calculated strategic move? Like a market entry play that competitors might struggle to match quickly?
I think it has to be both. They clearly achieved major efficiency gains in training and inference, but it's undeniably a strategic challenge. Anthropic had faced criticism that their models were just too expensive for everyday deployment. This move makes their flagship model immediately competitive on cost. It effectively lowers the floor for what everyone should expect to pay for frontier performance.
And they coupled that with practical updates too, things like unlimited chat lengths, Claude Code on desktop,
and expanded integration for Chrome and Excel. They are making a very powerful statement about usability and accessibility.
So that relentless competition is driving both the capability up and the cost down. It's incredible. Now let's pivot away from the benchmarks and look at where this tech is immediately reshaping two massive industries: commerce and national science.
Here's where it gets really compelling. First, we have OpenAI making a very serious, very direct play to disrupt the traditional online shopping funnel.
They just rolled out shopping research inside ChatGPT. And this is an interactive, dedicated shopping assistant.
Right.
And the key mechanism here is the underlying model. It's a fine-tuned version of GPT-5 Mini, which has been specifically trained to prioritize organic reviews and trusted product comparisons over, the usual promotional or sponsored content.
Which is a direct attempt to solve that core problem of traditional search. just cutting through the noise.
Exactly. Instead of just giving you 10 blue links, the user engages in a sort of quiz-style process. It asks about your budget, specific features, what you're looking for.
And then it delivers a curated guide, usually 10 to 15 highly rated options within minutes. And it's excelling in those really complex, high-consideration purchases.
Like electronics, beauty, home goods.
Yeah. This signals a very clear strategy. OpenAI wants ChatGPT to own the entire purchase cycle.
They're moving past just being a discovery engine. They want to be the home base right up until the moment of purchase, especially with that instant checkout integration they have planned. It just fundamentally challenges e-commerce platforms.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears dramatically from your shopping cart to the geopolitical scale of AI with the U.S. Genesis mission.
Okay. President Donald Trump signed an executive order directing the Department of Energy to build a massive, unified, national AI platform.
And the stated goal is staggering. It's to compress scientific discovery timelines in crucial areas like biotech, materials science, clean energy, from years down to just days.
The scale is what really demands attention. This isn't just funding for a new lab.
No.
This mobilizes 17 existing federal research facilities and all their supercomputing infrastructure. These new AI models will be trained on decades of proprietary government scientific data.
And the platform is designed to let AI agents automate hypothesis testing, generate predictive models across multiple scientific domains at speeds we've just never seen.
The White House even analogized this project to the largest coordination of research assets since the Apollo program, the moon missions of the 1960s.
And that comparison, it isn't just rhetoric. It emphasizes the historical urgency and the perceived world-altering potential of this technology.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, we see the geopolitical AI race being treated with historical precedence.
It is. Nation-states are mobilizing infrastructure and specialized data assets that commercial companies just don't have access to at a level comparable to those mid-20th century tech sprints designed to establish global dominance.
And that government urgency is mirrored across the whole ecosystem, commercial and scientific. So let's start connecting the dots on some of the other major advancements we saw, starting where that government investment is aimed, science and health.
There's a crucial new model here called PopEV, developed by Harvard Medical School researchers. Its focus is on enhancing the diagnosis of rare genetic diseases. PopEV uses some pretty advanced reasoning to pinpoint which specific genetic variants are most likely to be pathogenic or disease-causing.
And the performance is impressive. It's outperforming existing, heavily funded competitors, including Google DeepMind's AlphaMissense.
That's right. And the Harvard team is already testing PopEV in clinical settings to determine its accuracy in diagnosing these extremely rare single-variant conditions. So this is a direct, life-saving application that stands apart from just a general chatbot.
Right.
Now, shifting to hardware and infrastructure, we have updates on two very different ends of the spectrum. First, that high-end consumer device being developed by Sam Altman and the legendary designer Jony Ive.
Ah, yes, the AI device.
The latest news confirms the team has finalized the design. So they've moved past the concept phase and are projecting an arrival in less than 2 years, which suggests serious, large-scale production planning is underway.
And on the complete opposite end, in terms of accessible hardware, Microsoft released Farah 7B. This is a really important open-weight model.
And for those unfamiliar, an open-weight model means the underlying data and architecture are shared with the community. The benefit of this is immense for local deployment.
So it's compact enough to run on a regular laptop.
Exactly. Better privacy, less dependency on cloud servers, and crucially, it demonstrates pretty sophisticated agentic capabilities at the edge, meaning it can autonomously navigate websites and complete tasks locally without connecting to Microsoft's vast infrastructure.
And we also saw a huge corporate commitment backing the infrastructure needed for this Genesis scale.
Amazon.
Announcing plans to invest up to $50 billion starting in 2026. And this isn't for general services. This is specifically aimed at building AI and supercomputing data centers for U.S. federal agencies,
Including defense and intelligence operations. It really cements the public-private partnership structure required for these national-scale AI initiatives.
Finally, let's talk about measurement, which I think provides a much-needed reality check on this entire frontier race.
The launch of the challenging new graduate-level physics benchmark, CRIT-PT, is highly instructive.
And CRIT-PT is designed to test complex, nonlinear reasoning. The kind of advanced problem solving you need in fields like differential equations and abstract theoretical physics.
It goes way beyond the multiple choice or simple recall questions of older benchmarks like MMLU.
And here is the sobering data point.
Yeah. While models like Gemini 3 Pro took the top spot among the current contenders, they still solve less than 10% of the problems on Cryptium.
Less than 10%.
So despite all these massive leaps in coding and agentic performance we discussed with Opus, when you confront them with truly abstract, graduate-level scientific reasoning, even the frontier models still have these enormous intellectual gaps.
We also saw a couple of quick developments. OpenAI's Sora is temporarily blocked from using the term cameo.
Right, due to a lawsuit.
Huh.
And Exa introduced Exa 2.1, its latest agentic search API, with improvements in accuracy and speed.
That breadth of news just shows how wide the AI development front has become.
The overarching theme is that the industry is accelerating on two tracks at once: raw model capability, and then the immediate powerful integration into high-value professional workflows.
All right, let's pivot to your desktop. What can we actually download, test, and use based on this week's chaos? Let's start with the new benchmark models you should be familiar with.
Okay, at the top of the heap is Claude 4.5 Opus. That's Anthropic's new frontier model, setting new standards for agentic coding. Then you have GPT 5.1 Pro, the powerful new model from OpenAI for pro users, which continues to drive general performance up.
There's also a new image model.
Right. Google's new image model is Nano Banana Pro, which has notably improved text rendering capabilities within images. So a big leap in avoiding those awkward garbled letters we're used to seeing.
Finally, Edison Analysis, a next-gen scientific analysis agent focused on complex research data. And beyond the foundational models, there are new applications focused entirely on shifting creative and organizational productivity. For designers and product teams, there's UX Magic.
And this isn't just wireframing. This tool lets you turn a simple text prompt into a complete, production-ready UI design and detailed wireframe in seconds.
Which really shifts the design process from manual execution to AI supervision.
For software and documentation teams, we saw Guide Flow. The use case here is all efficiency, creating interactive product demos and comprehensive guides in seconds, just using AI that observes your usage. It reduces that bottleneck of manual documentation.
And for meeting efficiency, which is so important now, there is ReadMeeting.
This tool summarizes and records meetings in real time, providing immediate autonomous note-taking and action item extraction. It fundamentally changes the administrative burden of conference calls.
Finally, for those focused on automation and competitive intelligence, there's Browser Cache.
Yeah, that's a compelling platform. It's an advanced browser automation platform for deploying AI agents specifically designed for complex web scraping and large-scale internet intelligence operations.
The major takeaway from this week is it's undeniably the speed. The relentless release cycle of these models is being matched by an equally ambitious scale of government investment and the practical rollout of these powerful consumer apps.
It's a true systemic acceleration across all vectors.
And as we conclude this deep dive, let's circle back to that data point from the new CRITP physics benchmark. Even with all the breakthroughs we just discussed, the fact that models are solving complex bugs and designing interfaces, the current top performer still failed to solve over 90% of the problems on a difficult graduate physics test.
A test requiring deep abstraction.
Right. And this raises a really important question. Is this hyper-competitive race, Opus versus Gemini versus GPT, is it primarily driving performance gains that are just incremental adjustments to existing cognitive tasks? Or are we fundamentally mismeasuring how far we have to go to reach generalized intelligence, capable of true, abstract, and complex scientific creation?
It's something for you to consider as this incredible race continues to unfold.
A truly provocative thought to leave you with. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the latest AI frontier. We'll be back next time to synthesize the next wave of innovation.